Hi everyone, we're here for another Gran Turismo video. It's been a while. I'm going to run you through two cars that I've been using at the 700 pp event for Le Mans. So we've got two right here. First one for Suzuki, Escudo Pikes Peak Special. This is one of the legend cars. It's not always available, so you have to get it on the rotation. If I just go into the settings sheet. So I've played around with a few. I've kind of settled on this one though. It's a grip setting, so you're going to be very fast through the third sector in particular. I split it into three sectors. I know there's more at Le Mans, but yeah, after all the long straights, essentially when you get to a few Porsche curves and all the twisty bit, high speed, yeah, it goes really well. Racing hard tyres, you need them, Circuit de la Sarthe. And then we've gone for 140mm on body height adjustments, 5 on anti-roll bars, 40 on damping ratio, 50 on damping ratio expansion, 4.00 natural frequency, 0.5 on the camber, and I've gone positive 0.1 and 0.2 for toe angle. Torque, both are at 10, acceleration we've got 20-30, braking sensitivity, can't talk today, 10-20. Torque distribution doesn't really matter so much, you can change it on the fly in the race as well with the HUD, but yeah, I go for a 50-50 just so it's balanced. You don't want the rear snapping too much. It is a four-wheel drive, so it's quite nice. Downforce 500-700. And then this is where we've really got the performance points down, so we've put the ECU at 70%. We've gone for 199 ballast and we've positioned it at -50 and we've gone 94% on power restrictor. What all this does is it brings our max speed down, so we are going to be a little bit slow on the straights, but we make it all up through the corners and the fuel efficiency on this thing is ridiculous. A lap is about a quarter of a tank, so you can do 4 laps before you have to pit, whereas the rest of the field do about 3. So they'll 2-stop the race, you can 1-stop it with this car. Yeah, we've got a fully customizable racing transmission. I've not really tweaked that too much. I've just left it at 270. I've not really done manual adjustments. But those are the numbers if you do want to. Just make sure that they are all synced up. You can get a turbocharger for this. Taking it off because it puts performance points up too high. And then there's nothing applied in this last screen. So that's the first of the two cars. As I say, you'll get 4 laps out of it, so you can 1-stop the race. The second of the two is a more recent one. So recently we've had a patch where you can do engine swaps. You could always do them, but you were kind of beholden to the roulette wheel, whereas now you can just buy them. So what I've done with this, I've got the Mazda 3, so if the Suzuki isn't in the Legend car rotation and you just want to farm it and get some credits, buy a brand new Mazda 3. Then go and do an engine swap and put the 787B engine into it. What this does is it makes it massively efficient, just like the Suzuki was. 4 laps on the Suzuki, probably about 5 on this one. So yeah, I've seen some videos where they're no stopping. I'm playing on a controller and I'm using automatic gears. I try and make it so that anyone who's got the game can just follow along and do it. You don't need the full racing setup to do what I'm doing essentially. But yeah, you'll get about 5 laps out of this. So racing hard tyres, body height adjustment 105 on both, anti-roll bar 5 on both, damping ratio compression 25 on both, expansion 43-45, natural frequency 2.9 3.1, camber angle 2.5 1.5, toe angle both positive again 0.05 0.2, and then we've got torque 5 and 5, acceleration 20-30, braking 10-20, and then front rear torque is 30-70 on this one. Downforce 52-100, once again 70% on the ECU. Only 95 kilograms of ballast on this one though, whereas the Suzuki was 199. Positioning's at 50 and the power restrictor's at 98%, so we're almost at full power. Now the gearbox I have tweaked a bit, so if I go manual adjustment, these are your figures that you want. You might find it's easiest to do the 6th gear first, and then pull all the others to where they need to be. You might have to adjust them a few times each, just to get them within those ranges, but it's the first of the 2 numbers that you're aiming for. Feel free to pause the video at any point as well if you want to have a longer look at those. Turbocharger we've actually applied to this car. Brake system, brake pads, they're upgraded. We've got a steering angle adapter, racing clutch and flywheel, carbon propeller shaft, and then we've installed weight reduction 1, 2, 3 and increased the body rigidity. Something else we've done on this car as well, just to help it a bit with the downforce settings. If I go into GT Auto, car customization, we have actually applied the custom parts. So we've gone for Type A on the front, Type A on the side, Type A on the rear, and then Type B on the wing. As you can see, I've put a 787B styled livery on it as well. I just downloaded that. Somebody else made it and shared it, and I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, those are your 2 builds. The Mazda is very quick on the straights. You'll be blitzing past everything on the straights. It can be a little bit difficult through the corners. You've just kind of got to coax it a bit. It can slide a little, especially when it gets wet. It gets a bit tail happy. But if you want a comfortable, easy win, the Suzuki is my recommendation. You do need to wait until it's in the Legend Cars garage though. But that is my favourite car for doing this grind. So what I'll do now is I will show you a race. So I'll go to Europe and 24-hour Le Mans race circuit, and it's the WTC 700 30-minute race. It says 550 on the maximum reward, but you always get about 825 because of the bonus that you get for a clean race. So as you can see, 700 or less, yeah, we meet all of that. We're not allowed nitros, but we've not added it anyway. And in we go. I have bought inters for both of these cars. Sometimes it likes to rain, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time you sort of stay out and it doesn't get wet enough to actually act on it. So I always do the fuel map at 6 as well. As I said, this car's slow on the straight, but we make it up in the corners, so we can afford to fuel save. So when you're quite low in the gears, it's a bit sluggish. Sometimes it's better to brake a bit more just to go down an extra gear, and then you'll have more acceleration out of the corners. So if I do that here, just missed it. Tried to demonstrate, but oh. Now the blue car ahead always, for some reason, has a moment through this corner. As you see, we're bumping with the yellow car. We'll just keep it steady and good acceleration out of the corners. It's at the end of the straight that we struggle. Now what you can do, if you get your passing done early, tuck into a slipstream of the car ahead, keep an eye on the mirror, and you can just kind of block their pass. If you position it just right, then they'll just stay behind you and not actually go around you. So we've dropped to second gear, and there we go, we've got the acceleration out of the corner again. As I said, I'm automatic gearbox, playing on a controller, so that was just braking a little bit more to trigger that. Older Gran Turismo games, you could use X and square to kind of override the automatic gearbox and do it yourself as well. Can't do that in this one. You have to have either fully manual or fully automatic. You don't get that kind of hybrid control. So we're up to 12. Still got a fair way to go on this lap. But that is our slowest segment of the circuit done. All of those straights. And you can see that we're actually pretty good on the brakes. We can brake quite late. Stay over to the side so they don't push me. I like to get a nose in sometimes, the opponent cars. I refuse to call them AIs because they're not artificial intelligence, they're just computer controlled. So gap to the leader, 14.2. So we're about to go into our twisty section, which we are good at. Trying to keep it clean as possible, but still make up some places. Didn't quite work out, but we'll get them now. So 13.5 seconds, this is where we make it all up. As long as we don't get blocked by the others, of course. Which we might do a little bit. Oh, he stuck a nose in there and tried to spin us, but we had to catch that. A little bit deep there. Okay, so 13.2, so we didn't make too much ground, but we will on future laps, because we had a lot of traffic going through there. As you can see, 3.1 laps of fuel, so we've done 1 lap. So yeah, 4 laps essentially in the tank, in total. That's on fuel map 3. I don't know why I've still got a fuel map at the bottom, because I'm not going to change it. It's going to stay as that for the whole race, so I should put it to something more relevant. I thought I'd give him space on the inside and he still went into me. Lovely. So let's change this to weather radar, because that's our relevant one for Le Mans. We can kind of ignore all the others. It's a bit of a beast compared to the other cars. Seen a massive offload rally car going down a straight. As you can see, we're not having any tail happy moments. We're not really struggling at all. And there we go, I changed it to the weather radar and we have weather coming in. And most of the time it doesn't get wet enough. However, that being said, that does look like quite a strong patch, so we'll know by the end of the lap if it needs inters or not. Drop it down a gear, get the acceleration, there we go. I have noticed since the latest update as well, sometimes the weather radar says it's going to be raining and you'll be in the middle of it and it's still dry. I don't know if they're going to patch that and sort that out, but it doesn't seem as accurate as it used to. parked it a bit on the apex there. To really brake so I didn't go in the back of them. I'll go around the outside. They're going to give it space. Yes, they are. Good. Little love tap on the rear though. And they're coming back at us now because it's end of the long straight. You've not had a corner in the middle. Kind of send it on the inside of them. So here we go. That proves my point now of what I was saying. If you look at the weather radar, we're in the middle of a massive rain cloud. Took a few seconds, but it's just started to rain. So there's a bit of a delay on it. Okay, but it's actually raining on this time. So normally when it starts raining, if you can see that the rain cloud's going to end, it's not worth pitting, because it won't get wet enough. However, this looks like it's going to be wet. So I think we'll pit. Yeah, the bar at the bottom on the very far left has gone above that sort of third line. So we'll put some inters on. It gets over the 2/3 line when it's wets, but over the 1/3 line when it's inters. Under that you stay on dries. We might as well refuel, because if the rain stays for 4 laps, we'll be covered for fuel that way. I hate how long it takes to enter the pits at Le Mans. The point it takes control away from you, you're at the end of the pit lane. It's telling me it's taken this long to get from there to the pit box. I don't think so. There we go. Apologies if I'm moaning quite a lot today. This is a race that I have done over and over and over and over just to farm credits. I thought it was worth showing you all, so you can benefit from the same tricks. Okay, it's possible that we should have gone for full wets, but we'd have to get off them sooner as well. So at the minute it's full wets, but when the rain sort of abates, it will then go to winters, and then we'll be stuck on the wets and we'll be struggling. So I think longer term this is the better tyre for us. It's very rare that you need full wets in this. They must still be on slicks because of how slow they go. We'll do heavy braking now and just take it easy because we don't want to pick up a time penalty for going across the white lines on the exit of the corner. I've done that a few times. You sort of accelerate away and you understeer and you drift off the track and bang, 1.5 second penalty. Okay, so the rain's easing off now. So we'll come to the inters. So we just struggled up this first bar for lap. Trying to go sideways a bit, so you just got to catch it when you're braking. And of course the rain's going to stop completely. But it should stay wet for a while, so we can stay on these inters for a bit. I don't think it will dry up too quickly. Something I'd still like to see them add is tyre temperatures. You get it in the F1 games, and I'm sure you got it in old Gran Turismos. I might be remembering wrong, but it just seems like something that's missing when it's the real driving simulator. Like, I want to know the temps. Is it in the right operating window? Okay, I'm going to brake a bit earlier than it says there because I don't fully trust that. Sometimes in changeable conditions it doesn't actually show the braking areas correctly, and it can catch you out. So yeah, just always be on your guard when it's wet. Okay, so we're only 6.2 away from the lead now. 6.1. 6.0. So yeah, we are catching them at a fair rate. So that's not normally a braking zone in the drive for us. We'd normally just fling it through there, but we're taking it easy. Very gently, keeping it all within track limits. So I don't think we're going to be pitting when we're running out of fuel here. I think we're going to be pitting when the track dries up. But it was good to refuel and give us the option just in case. So when it stays dry for the whole race, you'll get 4 laps out of this. And you'll do only 1 stop. Everyone else will do minimum 2 stops, sometimes 3. So it's just a very easy race to win when it's like that. This adds a bit more fun to it though. It would be a bit boring if it's the same every single time you do this race, but I'm quite glad that they've added the changeability there. Especially when you're farming this race like 50 times in a row, which is what I've done. Yeah, it just keeps it fresh. So it's dry, but the track isn't. It's still very damp, as you can see from the little wetness chart, we'll call it, down at the bottom left. Gotten to the point where I just know this track like the back of my hand now from driving around it so much, and if you've not used this for farming yet, you will. It's quite a nice nostalgic feel to this car. Takes you back to GT 1 and 2. The other one was the Toyota. Was it the GT1? It'd be pretty cool if that made a comeback. So the long straights are a bit boring when you've not got anyone to slipstream. This is where you might want to have something on the TV in the background, or YouTube or something, or just someone next to you to talk to. Many a time I've done this just sat on Discord, just chatting away to my mates, and then farm out a few races. It's quite productive and it gives you lots of credits. And you'll be needing them now that we can buy engine swaps, because they are not cheap. So you can see from the timers, bottom left, we've been going for 17 minutes in this race now. And at the top, under the wing mirror, 12 minutes 50 left to go. So we're over halfway. So when it's dry all the way through and you're doing 4 laps on a single tank, you pit at the end of lap 4 and you're guaranteed to be over the halfway point on the timers. Because when it's dry it's about 4 minutes 20 per lap, and if you do 4 of those, yeah, it's, what, 17 minutes, give or take. So yeah, then you'll pit and have about 13 left, so you can one-stop it quite comfortably. On the last lap you can even turn the engine up a bit if you want to have some fun. Just burn that fuel off. Okay, track's drying out a bit now. We could probably pit for dries here. If you look, we're underneath that 1/3 line. The rain cloud seems to be passing to the north. I don't think it's going to drop down onto us. Let's take a gamble. Let's pit for dries. I think if we stayed out another 4 minutes on that tyre, it would just start to suffer a bit in terms of lap time. We wouldn't get to top speed on the straights, and anyone else who has pitted would close in on us pretty quick. Oh, it takes so long to pit. It's kind of why pitting only once in this race is fantastic, because everyone else has to go through that long wait. There's easily 20 seconds there that's not needed. Might as well refuel, why not? Okay, that'll take us to the end. And of course there's a rain cloud coming down on us now. I think the pit exit was a bit wet there, so we've got a bit of a tail slapper on. So offline we're going to struggle. If we stay online though, there's a dry line and we'll be fine. Because we are quite early in terms of track drying up. But with such a long lap, I think we wanted to do it that way round. Because as you can see now, we're miles ahead of them. So yeah, I think those two stayed out on the inters. So they're not going to be a threat, because we're just going to run away from them quicker and quicker as the lap goes on. Yeah, I don't think it's going to rain again. So nice and easy to the finish now. We're in the lead, extending that lead. I think 4th place was the person who had the same strategy as us. So we'll keep an eye on the gap to them, but as I say, we're quicker through the corners. Good acceleration out of those corners as well. It's just at the ends of the straights that we suffer. Long straights are pretty good if you get an itch. Just scratch your face and then put your hand back on the controller. Can't do that on a more technical circuit. the inside a little bit there, which wasn't ideal. But yeah, if it looks like I'm looking around a lot, that's because I'm sat very closely to a 50-inch TV, so it's not a case of just like looking with your eyes. You've actually got to turn your head a bit when you sat this close. It's funny because you grow up saying, with people saying don't sit too close to the TV, and then you see VR headsets. It's exactly the opposite, it's putting the TV on your face. So I'm not too concerned about it. So about 7 minutes left on the timer. It's probably going to be 2 laps. Something to watch out for as well. Haywood always does a different strategy to the others. Always goes a bit longer on their tank. They're currently in second. You'll find that they're pretty quick, and you might worry a little bit about them, but it sorts itself out by the end. They're just on a bit of a different strategy to the others, that's all. So 6 minutes 10 left to go. So yeah, 2 laps. There you go, they're pitting now. They're on the full wets, wow. I felt like I was pretty slow through there, but that's because we were in third instead of dropping down to second. So you want to be at the sort of a high end of a gear rather than the low end. If you find yourself at the low end, just drop down into the previous gear and you should then have a bit of acceleration again. It's weird because you have to go slower to go faster. And as soon as you start making that a habit in this car, it becomes a lot easier. The straights just feel very long when the max you can do is 152 miles per hour. The Mazda 3, however, that does do the straights a lot quicker. You'll be getting up to 175, 180 on that MPH phase, not KPH. But yeah, as I say, it's a little bit more unwieldy through the corners. It's got a bit of a temper on it. So, as you can see, we are now 52 seconds ahead of second place, and that's still increasing, which is a tad bit ridiculous. I wonder if they're still on an intermediate tyre. Sometimes the computer controlled ones, I don't quite get it right when it's changeable conditions. You sort of think, what have they done that for? They often throw away an extra pit stop that they didn't need to. A little bit like Ferrari if you follow them in F1, which I do. Strategy's not always fantastic. So we've not had a single penalty yet, even though we've had a few cars colliding with us. Track limits is usually the main one you've got to look out for. If you stay right, then you can do that corner without lifting. I had a bit of a tail slapper there because I got on the curb, which is still a bit damp. Those ones are fine to do there because we're not in the middle of braking. Okay. 1 minute 50 to go, last lap. We've still got half a tank of fuel left. Pikes here about. The Mazda 3 will do faster laps. You'll be around the 4 minute to 4 minute 5 seconds mark. So yeah, it's a good 15 seconds quicker than this, but I still prefer this. You can just relax and just churn it out over and over and over because you know exactly what the car's going to do in each corner. It's just planted. Sure, it's slower, but it still wins. Just take it for a nice Sunday drive and not worry about the competition. And of course we're getting faster because the track's drier, and this is the lowest amount of fuel that we've had all race because of the weather conditions. So this is probably the lightest the car's been. There we go, 0, final lap. As you can see on the minimap in the top right, we are comfortably ahead of everyone. We weren't far off actually lapping someone. We're still going faster as well. Not even trying, just pretty chilled. You just kind of get into a groove with it. It's almost second nature. You can just focus on other things. It's just about bringing it home now, getting across that finish line. So this was the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak. The other one's a Mazda 3 with a 787B engine. There's loads of cars that can do this race. It's a very farmable race. There's hundreds of tunes out there. You'll find other YouTubes making videos about this all day and night. I've seen some where they've done about 50-60 cars, evaluated them all, and I just wanted to share with you my preference. This is the one that I like to do the most. Because you can kind of switch off when doing it. As I say, you can sit on Discord and talk to your mates. You can watch a TV series. Just earn your credits. And that's it. Race 1. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And I'll see you later.